Hello, my name is Ramone, and I'm going to be talking about research skills, and in particularly my particular topic that I've chosen to talk about, which is exoskeleton suits, and which is a developing technology which is going to be used within many different industries within the next few years. Now, first I'm going to start talking about what research skill actually is, and my conclusion of what it is the ability to source information, and there's many different ways to source information, so it's quite a large field to study. What I've learned so far in this course about research skills, as you can see I've listed it here, I've learned different types of research methodologies, and also the research types, and also things about source information, the pitfalls involved in research, like the Hawthorne effect, and various other things. Also the halo effect, which when you're conducting interviews and surveys can actually hinder you in getting good information. Yes. Now, what I'm talking about is exoskeleton technology, and my particular question is exoskeleton technology the best way forward, or is it actually indeed a better way? And is it the best way to make the immobile better again? For example, someone who's paraplegic, they could use exoskeleton suit to assist them in walking again. So is this the best way to help someone that has been disabled, for example? Now, within doing this research, I have obviously many limitations because this is a new emerging technology and there's not a lot of information out around this information. So that's one of my main limitations. The ability to actually get secondary and primary research being very difficult. I had to overcome them by digging deeper, essentially. So a lot of my research will be secondary, because if I ask people within surveys and things, they might not know a lot about the technology because it's so new. And if I had to do things differently, I would do nothing differently. Okay, so I have a target audience when it comes to this particular research, and my target audience would consist of people that will work in industry affected by the new emerging technology. For example, the medical industry, the construction industry, engineering, and the military industry, which I didn't put down there, but they are going to be affected by it also. Now, I conducted primary research, and there are many different ways to conduct primary research, but the way I chose to conduct primary research was through conducting surveys, and particularly an online survey in which people can respond to my queries and questions. And I found this particular technique very useful to get personal information from people, also not just quantitative but also qualitative data. I can get opinions as well as create charts from statistics I got from my responses. And this is one of the examples. One of my questions was, you might not be able to see it, but what industry these people I asked the questionnaire worked in. And because you can see a lot of the people work in the computer industry, which is very good because this is somewhat related to the topic that I'm investigating essentially. And I also asked the age range of people just to get a scope of the ages of the people I'm speaking to essentially. And most of the people I'm speaking to have been 16 to 24, so young people who will be, by the time they're 30, 35, will be seeing these technologies probably in their day-to-day. So it'd be good to get a grasp of what they think about it in the early stages. And I also asked the question, if used in the medical industry, there's a possibility that this technology could also be used in the military industry. For example, companies like DARPA are developing robotic suits, which are essentially exoskeleton suits to enhance soldiers' physical abilities. They can jump higher, they can trek 10, 15 miles longer than a normal person would with a 60 kg backpack on their back. Because that's essentially one of the basic trainings that soldiers do. They put you in a backpack about 60 kg and they make you trek for like a mile or 2 miles to check your physical condition. But if a soldier had the ability to put a suit on that could make him trek for 20 miles without even getting tired, that will essentially raise the level of effectiveness soldiers would have in any terrain, whether mountains, marshes, any country you can go with this suit. And I asked the people this question if they would feel comfortable, essentially, if this technology was used for the military or policing. And I've had a pretty split response. 50% of people said they wouldn't mind, people said they would. So it's pretty inconclusive from what I thought. And the sex of the participants have been split right down the middle as well. So equally male, equally female people have been asked. And I've also put in room in my survey for personal opinions about what people think about the questions being asked, or their opinion on this technology being used for particular purposes like the military or for police. And just for one example, to work in this field is quite dangerous. With the help of exoskeletons, it will make me the job easier and safer. This is in regards to someone using it in the engineering field, for example. And one example of this technology being used in the energy field, in the engineering field, is a exoskeleton arm that's been developed by a company owned by DARPA, I think. And they has a brace and it's attached around your waist. And usually when engineers drill into big steel beams, they have a drill that weighs about 10 kgs, 15 kgs. And with this arm, they can lift the drill without any effort. So they can complete 2 or 3 times the work in half the time. So it's really effective, actually. And another opinion is in regards to healthcare, like they have exoskeleton suits that can help people transform from wheelchairs, like I mentioned earlier, into some kind of assisted walking. And someone mentioned that healthcare will help people with big disabilities. So I've had a lot of positive feedback on what their technology could potentially do for people, which is good. And in regards to my secondary research, I have found a few sources, like for example the Journal of Neuroengineering, which printed an article in relation to the usefulness of exoskeletons when it comes to the medical industry. Like I mentioned, paraplegics and even quadriplegics, they're working on suits to help people without full use of their body. And also the study of state-powered exoskeleton design, which is another article I found online, which explains in great depth the technologies behind the exoskeleton and several different other ways, other dimension of how they can be used. And from what I've basically gathered from all these source information, this is a future technology that will be taking place in our world, in our lifetimes, I suppose. Because they all mention in the next 20 years, this will be commonplace in many, many different industries. So it's here to stay. And would anyone like to have any questions?
So notice just on the American company produced this skeleton from previous slide.
Esco Biotech is, I believe it's an English company,
Okay.
and it's somewhere up north. But Exo Biotech is one of the first, when I was doing this research, one of the first companies I actually found. And they were the ones who developed some sort of suit that goes from here to about your waist, and it's like powered by a battery. So the person sits in a chair, and the suit, well, I assume in the future they could transform the chair into the suit also, but they walk standing up with the help of the exoskeleton, and this is the company that develops it. DARPA is a company that develops the robotic suits for the American military. And, this company as well, Rayform also does it. I don't think they're related. I think ActiveLink actually also does that too. So a lot of industrial uses for exoskeleton, a lot of companies use it for industrial reasons, apart from Bionics, which is used for purely medical reasons.
Okay, just my last question. Any regulation between all company or just special law?
I mean, like a standard regulation of how it's used. I don't think one has been developed yet for this technology. So in the future, you would see some kind of regulation when it comes to the point of it being used. So it's one for the future, but at the moment, there's none.
You said before that some of your primary research was inconclusive.
Yes. I was referring to...
Okay, so there's that where it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Does it say anywhere how many people were surveyed?
It doesn't say on here, but
In any of your previous slides?
No, it doesn't. I didn't put that in actually.
So if this right here, okay, so age range, how many, 3 people were of 16 to 24 and 1 person was 25 to 60?
Yeah.
So then 4 people. So then having such a, having a...
This is one of the problems. I feel I didn't gather enough primary evidence to get a really conclusive opinion about it.
No,
and also, one of my issues with this as well was I couldn't get any primary research on people actually in the particular industries, like nurses or, for example, construction workers.
You could not?
I wasn't able to.
Okay, what were some of the factors that constrained you?
Ability to get face-to-face time with these people. I don't know particularly many nurses or any construction workers. So maybe if I had approached research project differently,
You might have sought some of these people out. Because you do have an NHS here that a lot. Your medical industry here is quite user friendly. I think, at least compared to the U.S. You may have been able to go to your local hospital, or even perhaps there are older people that are using some form of assistance. You were talking about these kind of chairs and stuff like that, and even at this point, just the powered wheelchair is giving people mobility. It's not an exoskeleton, but people with experience with mobility issues. You could have asked them, does this look like something that you could use? Does this look like it might be useful?
That's true.
So there's, I think there were ways that you could have collected more data. And what are the, I see that in the industries you have that's computering, or computing, and what's the other one? Is that service?
Industry, yeah.
Service industry. Okay, so you spoke before in the previous slide that there were people in the medical industry and the construction industry that might have benefited from this.
Yeah.
So then, I think those people, you should have focused your primary research towards people within these industries that you had identified initially, and I think that would have helped you to get more opinionated responses. But just 4 people. 2 people say yes, 2 people say no.
Yeah.
That's not really, and if your questions are just yes or no, without a range of feelings, like 1 to 5, agree, disagree, then perhaps the questions that you asked and the data that you received initially might have helped you to redefine how you collect your data, because at this point here it looks like more information could have been collected, but that's a missed opportunity. I just wanted to know the 2 industries that were being looked into. The service industry, does the service industry have a need for exoskeletons? Do we need?
To be honest, maybe, but maybe not.
Maybe not just good young, strong people with good
Yeah.
backs.
Yeah, basically. I think cost benefit for most companies within the service industry might make them choose against using exoskeletons.
And just get some kid that,
It's stronger, yes.
yes. But what you said before about the medical industry, military,
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
like that,
definitely,
that's,
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely.
So I think more people could have been surveyed, and I think the industries that you could have surveyed them from, I think if you got some people from those industries there, you would have gotten a little bit juicier information. But your secondary research, and the idea is great. I just think that it could have. I'd like to know more, and I don't think that we can get more right now.
I just want to ask, do you think it's a good idea for the exoskeleton to be used in the military?
No. Because it's just like a stepping stone to bigger projects. Like, if you can be okay with a soldier wearing exoskeletons, then what's the difference for the robotics? And then next, why not just put a human being within a robot? Then the warfare across the planet will get really different. I wouldn't agree with that.
And it's it's a slippery slope there when you use technology for warfare. We're already seeing that with drones and stuff like that. So,
Basically, yeah.
but thank you. Are there any other questions? Okay, Ramone, well, thank you very much, and we will conclude.